We're on Chullin, Perek Zayin, Mishnah Dalid, fourth Mishnah, in the seventh chapter, Masechet Chullin. We're going to talk about cooking, bishul. We're going to start talking about in this Mishnah and actually in the chapters moving forward, prohibited mixtures. Chullin is the Masechet, especially the later chapters. Some later chapters of Chullin are the Masechet, where the Mishnah and the Gemara specifically talks about prohibited mixtures. Isurei ta'arovet. What happens if something trade falls into something kosher? Very common. It's also something that's learned, a very important subject learned for smicha. If you want to become a rabbi, you got to know this stuff. So we're going to learn Perek Zayin, Mishnah Dalid, Yarech. Let's say we're talking about a Yarech. Okay, you have the whole thigh. Gid Hanasheh. You didn't remove the Gid Hanasheh. Okay, so you have this sinew that's prohibited, and you cook the whole thigh. So now the whole thigh now has the taste of Gid Hanasheh. So can you eat the thigh, or must you discard the whole thing? Does the Mishnah? Im yesh ba b'notein tam. Notein tam, if you have enough to give taste, transfer taste, harezo asura, then it's prohibited. Meaning, is the size of the gid sufficient in order to transfer the taste of the gid into notein, to be notein tam, into the rest of the yarech? Then it's prohibited. Ketzad mishavi notam. How do you do that? Because remember, it's a gid. It's a sinew inside of a piece of meat. How would you know? If we go back to our picture, right? You got this whole gid. You have this whole long yerech, and inside there's like there's a sinew. There's like a very small piece. There's a small gid that's inside there. So how do you know how much it is? So the Mishnah says the answer is very straightforward. How do you How do you evaluate? How do you estimate? Kibasar velafet. Like it itself, the sinew doesn't give tam, but it's like meat. The lafet. Lafet is, I looked at here, lafet is vegetables. Okay? It is vegetables or turnips. Okay? Something which goes with bread. So it's the same ratio of if I was cooking vegetables, I had a vegetable soup, and I stuck meat in it. Is that enough to be notein tam? Says the Bartanura. You see, look at it as if the leg of the animal is lifatot, is vegetables. V'agid basar, and the gid itself, the sinew, is meat. If in this theory, right, the meat was kishir hagid, right, if it was large enough in order to actually infuse taste into the entire vegetable soup, okay, asur b'liftot yarech, kishir yarech asur. Okay, that's the shear into vegetables. Then it would be enough. Then it would be asur. The shiurim halacha leMoshe miSinai. This is a transmitted, definitive halacha from Moses and Sinai. Ugmiri, and we learned the behachi mishari. That's how you evaluate. So because otherwise you would say afapi ilaya kruv or kaplot. If it's kruv is for us it's cabbage. Kaplot are kind of onions. Meaning, if you started evaluating, well, what kind of soup was it? Was it a sharp soup? Was it a non-sharp soup that you need more? Then it would be more would be less. So therefore, the halacha l'moshe m'sinai. So you just look at it as lefet. Notein tama amur b'min b'mino she'en adam yachol lavchino. How much is it? Is a min b'mino? Why? Min, a species in its own species. It's meat inside meat. So how much is min b'mino? How much is notein tam? So the answer is b'sha'ari noto b'shishim. It's 1 in 60. So basically, the question is the yerech, according to this position, is the gid 1/60th or less of the yerech? Then it doesn't trafe up the whole thing. You have to cut out the gid, and then it's okay. But if it's more than 1/60th of the yerech of the leg, then it is true. Then it does transfer taste, and the whole thing is asur. But Hamat Nita, the Bartanura says idchiyala. The Gemara says, and we push off this Mishnah. This Mishnah is not halacha for a simple reason. Even though this shiurim is halacha l'Moshe miSinai, why? The Kaimalan we learned ein begidi b'notein tam. Gid is a sinew, and it doesn't transfer taste. It just tastes like anything. The ben midvashel, whether you cook it, ben nimlach, ben nitzla, whether you salt it or whether you roast it. Mashlicho, you render the whole thing. Mashlicho mutar, you just take out, no matter what. Okay, in this whole thing, whether you salted the whole thing, or you cooked it, or you roasted this whole thing, you cut out the gid, and it's permitted. Why? Because it's ein begidi v'notein tam. Because sinews are rough and they don't have any taste at all. V'davka, that's only the gid itself. Abal shub, no, but the fat around the gid, if you didn't take out the fat, yesh ba b'notein tam. Of course, that transfers taste. Even though not tal shuma, no, oser. If you didn't take out the fat, it's oser. So the gid of itself, Gid Hanasheh, cannot transfer taste. But the fat around it can transfer taste, and the transfer is how much? B'shishim, transfer of taste of 1 to 60, as if the thing inside of it was actually vegetables. We'll stop here, dedicate our learning to the memory of my father, Harav Simcha Ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a good day.